My name is Pastor Stephen of Healthy Expressions. Weekly, we meet up to talk about tips and hopefully helpful tips on how to improve your relationship or marriage. And I'm hoping that you've been watching. I'm hoping that you are telling other people to watch this program. 30 minutes on Mondays from noon to 12:30. It's something that I'm hoping that it is beneficial for you. We've been going over some topics the last few weeks, and the topic for today is the right words. So, in order for your relationship and marriage to be really, really good, communication needs to be healthy. And I know that I think I talked about it probably on the first time that I started this on session one, that we just wing it. We just let our love and our emotions help us to get through and navigate our relationships and marriages. But the reality is, you have to be very, very concise. You have to be organized in your relationship or marriage. And that also includes your communication. And I think I have 5 tips today that can really help you to communicate better with your significant other, with your spouse, with your coworkers, with your friends, with your family, whoever it is. You can use these 5 tips anywhere. And I think they're very beneficial and helpful. So, what is tip number 1? Tip number 1 is that if in order to have healthy communication, good communication, especially when you have to talk about something uncomfortable, so a serious issue that you need to bring up and talk with your significant other, your spouse, your coworker, your friend, your family, whoever it is. The first tip is have the right timing. So a lot of times when we want to talk about something important to our significant other or spouse or family member or friend, we kind of just want to, it just blurbs out. Okay, I see this opportunity, I'm just going to say it. But in order to guide that communication, that topic in the right direction, you need to have the right timing. You have to be a detective and wait for the right timing. For example, if you're home first, getting dinner ready, and your spouse comes home, and we'll talk about, for example, finances. You can't just, when they open the door, hey, what about our finances, and talk about our checking and savings, and maybe if we're investing and all this and how we're using our money. That may not be the right time because you don't know what type of day that they had. Maybe they got into an argument with their boss or with another coworker. Maybe they just had just a bad day. Well, when they come home and you spring this on them and you say, basically what you're saying is, we got to talk about this right now, it is agitating them. And what usually is going to happen is you're going to argue and fight because you want to talk about finances, but they don't want to, and you may say something and then boom, you may agitate them and then you start to argue and fight. This tip is, maybe they come home, maybe they, eat dinner, wash up, clean the table and everything, and they're settling in. Maybe they just want to watch TV or something. Then you could bring it up and say, hey, I would like to talk about our finances. Is this a good time? And they may say yes or no. If they say no, okay, then when can we talk about this? Now they know. Okay, now they know that you guys are going to have a serious conversation about finances. If they say yes, then you have that conversation. They're in a better place. They're in a better mood, and you can talk about finances or whatever issue that you want to talk about. And usually it won't end up in a fight. It won't end up in a bad way because you're kind of respecting their space, respecting their time. So they're at ease. So in order to have good communication, healthy communication, especially when it comes to a challenging or difficult topic, you wait for the right time. The right time. Second thing is the right words. Now, I don't know about you, but in high school and also in college, I took speech class. So, I think 3, 4, even 5 times we had to get in front of the class when we had to give a speech. I don't know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I don't know. Our final was maybe a 15-minute speech. But wouldn't it be bizarre if we knew, okay, these are the dates that we're going to, the students are going to present these speeches. Wouldn't it be bizarre if I said, you know what, I'm going to wing it, right? I'm just going to wing it. So I don't even know what topic, I don't know what to say. I don't have an introduction. I don't have a body. I don't have, a closure, to that topic. Well, that's how a lot of couples do, is they tend to just have these conversations and they don't choose the right words. What that does is when you don't choose the right words and you say certain things to other people, you may trigger them with certain words or statements, right? What I ask a lot of couples is, do you know certain words or statements that you say to the other person that you know that instantly when they hear that, they hit the roof? And probably 95% of the time they go, yes. If we say certain words or a certain topic, they're going to get upset. Well, when you're about to have a serious conversation, a topic that you really want to discuss with your significant other or spouse, you plan that conversation by using the right words, like a speech. You would organize your thoughts, you would organize your words, because a lot of times people get into arguments when they use the wrong words. They use words that maybe to them are nothing, but to the other person, when they hear it, they see it as that they're being attacked. And usually when someone is attacked, they defend themselves. And so this second tip is very helpful, that you choose the words, the right words. So that means that you might have to take some time and be like, okay, before I talk to him or her, this is what I'm going to say. And I'm going to avoid these words or statements. So use the right words, plan out the right words. And another thing, which is tip number 3, that is associated with the second tip of using the right words, is throw away the words and statements that get the other person upset. So words or statements that trigger your significant other, your spouse, your coworker, your family, friends. Imagine a 12-inch thick steel safe. You put all those words, all those statements that get the other person riled up, and you throw it in there, you lock it up, and you throw it in the deepest ocean. Imagine that. Visualize. I'm going to do that. Which means you will never, ever say those words or statements to the other person. Because when you use them, they get upset, they get angry, they get frustrated. So don't use them. Don't say, well, I'm going to save these so I can, the next time that other person says something mean to me or hurts me, I'm going to say that to them. No. Don't play that game tit for tat. Don't play that game, well, he or she said this to me, so I can say anything back to them. No. So those certain words and statements that the other triggers the other person, get rid of them out of your life. And I want you to add a few other statements to those that you should never say to the other person. Statements like, I'm done. I can't take this anymore. I'm finished, or we're finished. Statements like that say basically, I want to end this relationship. I want to end this marriage. Never, ever say them, because a lot of people say them out of emotion, out of a reaction. And that's something that's not good. And maybe the first time you say it, or a couple of times, okay, you say it out of emotion, and the other person, believes, is not taking it seriously. But after a while, if you say that consistently in your arguments or disagreements, they are actually going to start believing that. They are going to start, really believing, what, that other person keeps on saying, we're done, I'm finished, I can't do this anymore. So maybe we are done. Maybe I have to make that move. Maybe I have to leave this relationship. Maybe I have to leave this marriage. So please do not say those words. I'm done. I'm finished. I can't take this anymore. I'm tired, right? Those statements kind of tell the other person, I want to end this. You shouldn't be saying those things. So what are those things again? The right timing, wait for the right timing, the right words. And the third, right? The third, like I said, is get rid of those statements and words that agitate and trigger the other person. Okay. The fourth is the right place, right? The right place. So this is a given. You never argue and fight in public. Even if you're not screaming and yelling, but you also don't argue in front of family. Let's take it to another degree. You never fight in front of your kids, right? Say, well, okay, we're pretty annoyed at each other. Let's not do this in front of the kids. Let's wait until later when they're sleeping, or, we can talk about this in the bedroom. And another place that you should never argue is in a car. Thinking in a car, well, why? I know that, nowadays, if I say MMA, people, who don't even follow it, they know, mixed martial arts, they put two guys or two women in a cage, enclosed cage, and, they try to beat each other up. See, in a cage, you have no place to run and hide. So you're forced to kind of fight. In the same way, when you're in an enclosed area, like a car, that's not a good place to argue or to disagree or to fight. What you can say is, hey, can we wait until we get home and talk about this? Because you're an enclosed area. And, I think my second or third session about arguing in a healthy way is to have a timeout and say, we need to separate, we need to calm down for 30 minutes. Then we can come back and can talk about this. Those 30 minutes is to calm down. And I say during those 30 minutes, don't be next to each other. Don't even be in the same room. Be in separate rooms. Maybe even one person goes outside. So if you have a very serious conversation in the car and it slowly becomes a disagreement and then becomes an argument, it's because you're in a closed area that it's not going to end up well. So in order to have the right communication, we have the right timing, the right words, not right words, the right words. We have the don't say trigger words or statements to the other person. We have now, I just talked about the right place to have that disagreement, that argument, that serious topic conversation. And lastly, number 5 is the right tone. And when I bring this up, the right tone, a lot of couples, they nod their head. See, when we are agitated or annoyed by the other person, the significant other, our spouse, family member, friends, coworkers, we give them a tone, an annoying tone, a sarcastic tone, and it is a passive aggressive move, right? Like there are arguments that I've had with my wife, and I say something to her, and she goes, "Why are you giving me that tone? Why are you giving me that attitude?" And I'm lying to her. I go, "I'm not giving you attitude. I'm not giving you a tone, but actually I am." See, we say things to our significant other or spouse in a way that is demeaning, very sarcastic, very mean-spirited, and we don't have to raise our voice. We don't have to curse. We don't have to use nasty language. But the way we say certain things to the other person is passive aggressive. We want to annoy them. We want to get them upset. And it's the right tone. We give them an attitude. And so I want you to really think. Think of the last time that you had a fight with your significant other or your spouse. You got that in your head right now? Your last argument? What if you use these 5 tips in that argument, in that discussion you had with them? That you waited for the right timing, that you picked the right words to say, that you got rid of all the words, trigger words, all the statements that kind of they don't like, that once they hear it, they get very upset. You got rid of them and you didn't say them. What if you waited for the right place to argue and to disagree? And lastly, also the right tone. What if you talk to them with respect, that you didn't give them an attitude, that you valued them by talking to them in a very respectful way? How would that argument, that disagreement turn out? It would turn out a lot better. A lot better. See, again, I say this all the time. There's only one thing you can control, and that's yourself. And that also includes your emotions. That also includes, and when we get agitated, we get annoyed, we get upset, we get angry, then we say and do a lot of things that we really don't mean. And in order for your words to really be words to solve the issue together, instead of attacking, instead of just being very, very demeaning, then your communication and the way that you fight would be totally different. Your relationship, your marriage would be totally different. So you have to ask yourself, do I need to improve on one of these tips or all of them? And honestly, most people, if they're honest with themselves, would say, I need to work on all five. I need to be able to wait for the right timing. I need to be able to choose the right words. I need to be able to get rid of trigger words and trigger statements to the person. I need to, find the right place to argue and fight. And I need to have the right tone, a tone of respect, a tone of explaining yourself, a tone of connection. So when I work with couples, I tell them you have to look in the mirror. You have to look in the mirror and you need to really decide, does this relationship, does this other person bring value to you? Right? Do I want them in my life? They make me happy, so I need to keep them in my life. Then you really need to work on your communication. You really need to work on being able to express your feelings, even if they're frustrating, even if you're sad or angry, to that other person. This is something that you have to fight for that person instead of against that person. You have to start saying, you know what, I need to start making changes in the way I talk to them, the way I listen to them, the way I react to them or respond to them. I need to do a better job. I need to do a better job. So I'm hoping that you do take some notes, that you did take some notes during the session, that you're able to share that with others, that you're able to tell them, hey, I listened to this guy and he says, you know what, communication, the way we talk to our significant others or spouses, we're doing it all wrong. See, I don't know, and I'm going to be real for these last couple of minutes, because I don't know if anyone is watching these videos. If you are, I'm hoping and praying that you're benefiting from these videos, that you really are. I'm just being real. I want you, if this is being played out, I'm hoping that these videos, these sessions, until I think mid-December, every Monday from 12 to 12:30, that it's helping you. And that you're telling others to watch. And at the end of signing off, and then my website comes on at the end, I want you to take a look at it. It's healthyexpressions.online. Has all my information, even has a free webinar, a 25-minute free webinar, 10 healthy habits for a healthy relationship. Watch it, it's free. And it has all my information about how many session package programs I have, how long they are, the amount they are. Eventually, I'm going to revamp it a little bit and share what topics we go over those certain package programs. But in order for you to have a healthy relationship or marriage, things have to change. you have to change and adapt to the other person. If you're unwilling to, then one or two things. One, that relationship or marriage won't last long. And two, if you just stay with them in that relationship and marriage, but it's unhealthy, it's going to cause you a lot of pain. It's going to distract you in your life. And there's going to be a lot of cheating, physically and emotionally. And so hopefully through these videos, you can sense that I take this very seriously, that a relationship, when you connect with someone, if you're married or not, but you connect with someone, you love them, and you've said you love them, you said, I want to have this life with you, right? You got to fight for it. That means that you have to adapt to them, you have to change. And so a lot of times people need help with that because they're used to their bad habits, right? There's a saying by, I think, Albert Einstein, doing the same things over and over again, but expecting different results. That's called insanity. That's what a lot of couples are doing. They're doing the same things over and over again, hoping that it'll change. The same way that they fight, the same way they argue, the same way they communicate and listen, they think that eventually the other person's going to change. Well, both of you need to change. Both of you need to get rid of bad, unhealthy habits and replace them with healthy habits to make your relationship and marriage so good. Now, is my marriage perfect? No. And I've been married for 24 years. I've been with my wife known her for 26 years. That's half my lifetime. But there is a drive in me to realize I wanted to make our marriage better and better and better. I don't want to stay the same. And I don't want to just be married. I want to be happy. And I want to have this beautiful life with this other person, my wife. So if you have that same mindset, these sessions on video will help you. But if you need additional help, please contact me. Healthyexpressions.online has my phone number. It has my email. Reach out. I'll reach back out to you and we get things started. Well, I want you to have a great day, great week. Hug that significant other and spouse. I'll talk to you later. Goodbye now.